Give me a couple minutes of your time. I'm going to show you how you can make $200 to $500. You're not going to be able to retire. You're not going to get rich, but some people need that money now. And this is going to show you how you can get that money in the next couple of days. $200 to $500. This is a one-time thing. There's no catch here. You don't need to send me anything. You don't need to invest in any crypto. Bobby, you can put away that dress because this method doesn't involve that. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this because this literally is mathematically proven. When I say mathematically proven, I'm not talking about some PhD level math problem. We're talking about second grade math here. So all of you should be able to follow along unless you're, anyways, let's get into it. But first, I want you to go down and look at the comments. If this video worked for you, if you watch this whole video and it works for you, leave a comment down below saying just how much you made. Also, if you could leave a thanks, that would be really awesome. And for people looking, thanks are harder to get. It's harder than losing your virginity after a 10-day no-shower challenge. Let's just get into it because I don't want to have too much BS in the beginning. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to be taking advantage of an industry that tries to take advantage of you. This is a battle. This is a quick in and out. This is not an occupation. This is a come and go. This is not a marriage. We're going to be taking advantage of gambling, specifically sports betting. Right now, sports betting is legal online in 38 states. You don't need to live in these states, you just need to be present in these states. In some states, you have to be 18 or over. In other states, you have to be 21 or older. And all of these sites that are now legal are trying to get more and more people in. You've probably heard of them: FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN Bet, and a ton of other sites. In fact, as you go across different states, there's different sites in each state. So hey, if you're one of those people who travels for work, or maybe you got a big vacation coming up, you can make a lot of money. Not just $200, $500, you can make over $1,000. But what you've got to do is you've got to keep in mind, you are not going into this gambling. You're not picking your favorite team. You're not picking your favorite sport. You're just going into it to make money. And you're not even going to be gambling because mathematically, you're going to be making roughly the same amount of money no matter which team wins. I know, now this sounds weird, right? Because this isn't gambling, this isn't sports betting, this is just making money. Why does this work? The reason this works, and it's important to understand why this works because that's going to help you just avoid getting sucked into this mentality of just gambling. The reason why this works is because these sites want to bring you in. They want to get your information. They're willing to pay for it. And then they're going to start sending you offers. They're going to say, hey, do you want to get in this? Do you want to get in this? They're going to be just pinging you. They want to get you back into the battle because the longer they can draw you in, the more they can draw you in, the more likely you are to make a big deposit and actually lose money. And this is a big warning here. I just want to keep reiterating this. A lot of people, what they'll do, they'll get this initial boost, they'll get this initial money, they'll get that dopamine hit, and they'll go back for more. You can't do that. If you have an addictive personality, if you're someone who could get drawn into this, just walk away right now. It's not worth the money. It's not worth $200 to $500. Just walk away. Don't even bother with it. But if you don't have addictive personality, if you think that you can walk away from this, well, let's get into it. So here's what's going to happen, okay? Most of these sites, they have a deal, right? You sign up, you make one $5 to $10 deposit, and they will give you $100 to $250 in bonus bets. There are stipulations to this. There's right and wrong ways to do the deposits, and there's a few things that you should be aware of. So we're gonna cover all that. Just don't leave now, okay? So you've got to put in $5 to $10, and you've got to gamble with it. That's how this works. You've got to make a bet. And you could lose that $5 to $10, but we're going to be making that back and a lot more, so don't even worry about it. Don't sweat it. Before we talk about how to actually make that bet so you're less likely to lose money, let's talk about how to make the deposit because that's also important. Don't use a credit card because then you'll get charged some fees or something like that. Just use, if you have it, a Visa debit card. Those are very easy because once you do the deposit, you can also do the withdrawal with that debit card. And it's a really nice system. You get your money super fast. I've done it a few times. I've done it for thousands of dollars, literally tens of thousands of dollars, and it all worked out fine. And yes, there's something called match betting and all this stuff that you can make a lot more with. But that one, if you make errors, right? Like I made an error just a couple days ago and I lost $300. Honestly, $300 lost is way less than all the money that I've gotten using that method. But it's a lot more complicated. Mathematically, it's a lot harder to understand, a lot harder to explain. So I'm going the easy route here because I want to make sure that everybody can get their money without messing up and losing some life-changing amount of money. Okay. Use your debit card. It should be a Visa. That's going to make it easier withdrawal. You can also use Venmo or PayPal. Either one of those is going to work. Don't use a credit card because then you're going to charge like extra fees because it counts as like doing a cash withdrawal or some BS like that. Don't use a credit card. Debit card, PayPal, Venmo, something like that. You can do a bank transfer, but I honestly wouldn't recommend it. Just Venmo, PayPal, or a Visa debit card. Now, once you make that deposit, you're going to have $5 to $10 in your gambling account. Here's what you're going to want to do now. Don't bet on your favorite team. Don't bet on some long odds that are going to make you a multimillionaire, because honestly, that's a good way to lose money. You know, it's like playing the lotto. You're probably not going to win. Even if you bet on your favorite team and the odds are good, you still could lose. What I recommend doing is going to live, like that live game button, and then seeing what games are live. If you can find some game that's almost about to end, like a basketball game in the last 4 minutes where a team's up by 20 points and the odds are like negative 20,000, put your money on that. Most of the time, these sites are going to allow that. If they don't, so you got to check the terms. They could change it. Honestly, this video could be old, so check the terms, see what that like lowest negative denominator is for that bonus bet to qualify. Check that. Generally, they don't have any, so you can just put on something that's like negative 20,000. You're very likely to win that bet, get your money back plus an extra 10 cents. Who cares? Get your money back. Even if you lose it, who really cares, because you're going to get more back anyways. The thing I want to avoid is any sort of gambling, because that's likely to get people addicted. You got to have a strong personality to avoid this. There's a reason that Vegas looks so cool, and it's not because everybody makes money there. Seriously, we've all got that one friend who made like $20,000 in Vegas and then lost it all the next day. There's a reason they comped him a hotel and 5 bottles of Dom, because they knew he was going to take it to the Dome and lose it all. Anyways, so yeah, just make a very long bet that's not going to make you much money, but that you're likely to win. Now that you've made that bet, you should have your bonus bets. I don't know how those are dished out. It depends on the site. Some sites just give you a site credit, like FanDuel does that, and you can bet any amount you want. Others are going to give you little bonus bet slips that are going to be $25 or $50 a bet. It doesn't really matter how this works, because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going to like NBA, MLB, something like that, and you're looking for something that says total. It's an over-under. It's going to say over some amount of points and under some amount of points. You bet on one side, the odds are going to be like negative 105. On the other side, the odds are going to be like negative 115. So this is the beauty of it, right? If you bet on this where it's like negative 0.05, negative 115, if you bet $100 on one side, you're going to be winning something like, $95. If you bet $100 on the other side, you're going to be winning something like $86. So basically what you're going to want to do is go in, you bet $50 on one side, and then you're going to bet $50 on the other side. You're going to be walking away with about $40 to $45 for that bet. So basically, you're getting back a little less than half that bonus bet amount. So with this method, this simple method, you don't even need to worry about too much stuff. You're going to be walking away with, if you get $200 in bonus bets, you're walking away with $90. If you can get $500 in bonus bets, you're walking away with about $200 to $250. If you can get more than that, you're going to be walking away with more. If you're very skilled, if you're very smart, there's other ways that you can do this. So for instance, you can look between 2 different gambling sites, and a lot of the time what you're going to find is maybe you can get minus 100 and minus 100 on both sides, which means that basically you're going to be making the full amount back no matter what. So if you bet 100 on one side, 100 on the other, you're making 100 back total. So then if you got $500 in bonus bets, you're getting 250 back. If you're in a state like North Carolina, right now things are really popping off for you. So North Carolina just legalized sports gambling or sportsbook gambling online. And what that means is these sites are there trying to get new users because they all want to push up their value. These are $20, $30 billion companies. And the more users they have, the more they're valued at. So they're offering right now like $250 to $300 for some people to sign up for these sites. So honestly, if you're in North Carolina, you could be easily making like $500, and that's a crazy amount. Like it really is, but you can do it like $500 in a couple of days. It's so simple, but it's so like maniacal what they're doing. They're trying to get people in. They're trying to make these people do these long bets where they see just a huge amount of money. Like you can do these parlays, and it'll be like, if my $5 wins, I am going to be worth $10 million tomorrow. You're never going to win it. You're never going to win it. Statistically, you just won't win it, just like you won't win the lotto. But you're still going to try. You're going to see that big number. You're going to get that dopamine hit, and then you're more likely to keep going back. With this method that I'm describing right here, you're betting against yourself, basically. No matter what, you walk away with about the same amount of money, so there's no real dopamine rush. You don't need to watch that game and care who wins. It doesn't matter if the Ninja Turtles beat the Mutant Turtles. It really doesn't matter, because either way, you're walking away with $40, $45. So yeah, you can just put your bet on anything. It doesn't need to be something you care about. You get half that money out and you can walk away. And your initial investment is going to be $5 to $10 per site. If you do want to take these sites for more, there are ways to do it. You should look into match betting and some of these like profit matching things and everything like that. But I don't want to get into that because that's a longer video that's more complicated. And if you mess up, you can actually lose a significant amount of money. Anyways, like I said before, this isn't financial advice, but I hope it did help you make a little bit of money. Until next time, peace.